Now you're gonna see some important things in this. Just bear with the video, and then you're also gonna hear how white folks took slavery from black folks. It was our idea because we actually was enslaving all the outside nations because they were made to be our slaves. This is a fact. They call them Adams. Adam means slave. They were meant to assist the black man, as they call us, because we are king and we are gods. And this ram and all the other rams that we go to, they are our servants naturally. They did this naturally until they got jealous. And the devil told them whatever the hell he told them when he came here and caused problems. Before he came here, they were peaceful. Now, I don't, and of course, then he mixed himself with them. So that made them all evil because the DNA has to go away. Before then, they were pretty sure more, like us and whatnot have you until he took them, raped them, and changed them, put them in the Garden of Eden, which is the garden of a devil's son. Let's keep going.
Ancestors set up these energy centers that we call Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Atlanta, Detroit, right? Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles. They are energy centers. They're not where they are in huge, large cities just because of some coincidence. There's energy and power in these places. London, Rio de Janeiro. I'm trying to post this, but I'm gonna try to do it in a different way. I'm so heartless, so heartless. I ain't on my age. You were 16, they killed it, Dave. Mine in a rage. I'm way too young to feel this pain. I ain't know how to fade, but I dove in cause I'm a man. I love that girl to death. As we get old, I'll finish trying to pay for therapy because my thoughts ahead of me. They keep on dragging me. I pay for keep they scared of me. I cannot barely see, but even breathe. I cannot hold on without you on side of me. I never knew this rain would take the ones I love away from me. I wanna see Casey bad, but I can't seem to call you need. Go in with no business bag. I got these shit right on my sleeve. Right now my counter burning wax. I'm feeling like it's burning me. I'm just a lonely child. Help. I take this pain away because my head. Hide a secret than to put it in the open where everybody can see it. All you need to do is just confuse people into believing that what they're looking at is really something other than what it really is. Excellent case in point is the Washington.
Now, the obelisk, we used to thought that was represent the penis to fuck the sky or the devil, whatever, right? That's what we thought it was because we were taught that once we got out of Christianity that was the evil sign of a penis of the devil. They're serving a penis. However, now we find out, what you're going to find out, they actually use the word African, but we're not African. So boot that word Africans out your memory. They actually found out that's it's actually a monument dedicated to one of our brothers, one of our people who's not African, because we ain't from Africa. And that's why they put that up there. It was not a penis to be fucking the sky to fuck or the devil's penis. They changed the meaning, lied to us about the meaning to confuse us so we would not know about what's going on. Let's keep going.
The monument. What we've been taught is the Washington Monument. What everyone believes is the Washington Monument. But once you know the secret, then you know that it is a SARS monument. It is a 6,000-year-old monument that represents the resurrection of the founding fathers of African man. So our history.
Now, when they say resurrection, they ain't talking about some Christ or anything like that. That's all pagan. What they're basically saying is that, yeah, the man died. We put this stone up there to honor him. We didn't serve him or nothing. And we all come back because we don't have a talent. We actually don't die. Our people. And some of us, we have many homes, many mansions. So we go to each mansion and home and ram, and we make our round trip. However, that has also been a soul trap to keep us here. This is why we want to go to our highest estate and get totally out of this whole entire thing altogether to where we can fully control it from the outside and deem anything that is wrong and get rid of it from the get-go so we can create a whole new system that is perfect like it was supposed to be from the very beginning. Everything goes back to the beginning.
Truth, our culture, our power, our secrets are all throughout this city. This is Washington, D.C. in 1903 as it establishes itself as one of the obelisks of the world order. from the Vatican and its control of religion and history, the City of London and control of our finances, and of course DC, the military strength, forming the whole.
So this is when they finally got control of our cities, and they finally, how you say it, on paper, jacked our cities. After they did it physically, now they had to do it with the paperwork to get the way they wanted, so it would not work in our favor. So they took certain cities that they knew that had power in them, that supplied power to our bodies. There's some things they ain't telling y'all, and they used it for their advantage to evil, to drain that power for evil so they could rule over us.
A Trinity.
And that's their holy
of our
Trinity.
Control.
All right, look at this. 1903. All right, check this out. You see that? Those are ancient buildings right there. You can see that's Washington, D.C. right there. So in 1903, before that, these buildings were already established. These are ancient buildings that we created. I just really hope that we see this. We got to tear the system down, y'all. We got to tear it down. We got to destroy it. They made different parts of our realm for their control. So now we've got to pull our realm together for our control. Something to think about.
We live in a world of control and propaganda. And our history is nothing more than a set of lies agreed upon. Set of lies they agreed upon. Research the mud flood and fall of Tartaria. Think of question everything.
Georgetown University building has a dark secret. This is Healy Hall, named after Father Patrick Francis Healy, who was born a slave and rose the ranks to become the first African-American president of a major university in America. In front, there's a statue of John Carroll.
I want y'all to pay attention, because when we made buildings, we also put portals to good places in these buildings, something that we used to do. And the portals would give us power. We did it on purpose, but they were good portals, not bad portals. Unfortunately, fortunately, they let the building stand. Unfortunately, they blocked the certain parts of the buildings that have the power in them, so that we cannot get the power, all right, to help us defend ourselves and to make things go into our direction. So what they do is they lock the room off and they drain the power and use it for evil to rule over us. This is each city that they mentioned, including Boston, a whole bunch of other cities that they forgot to mention. They mentioned Boston, they mentioned other cities though. Right, let's keep going. Chicago's definitely.
Who founded this university in 1789, making it the first Catholic university in the nation. However, clearly we see 5 floors in this building, but the 5th floor is completely locked to both students and faculty alike. Legend has it that many decades ago, a young priest found a mysterious book in the library. Fascinated by it, he went up to the 5th floor to read its Latin chants that barely made sense to him, inadvertently opening up a portal to another realm. The portal couldn't be closed, and hence they just shut down the entire floor. But the most reasonable explanation is that students tend to steal the clock hands, which you see up there. The latest incident was in April 2012, when they stole the clock hands for a total of $9,000 and sent it to the Vatican and marked their return to sender. Stay curious, my friends.
To be what they was telling us the whole time, bro, when they found the pyramid, bro.
Now, see, when that young kid did his Latin, we don't do Latin, but he did his Latin chants, which is their shit, pagan shit, to open a portal, which made no sense to him, and then the portal opened up an evil one. So they've also found a way to close up the good portal and open up an evil portal. You hear this? So that they can drain it. Now, it wouldn't close. They set this ball up there for a reason. They knew it was going to stay open. They knew it was closing a good portal, opening up a bad portal for the devil, because that's what they did, right? To send energy for them to try to get us more down and to keep us down, all right? So they knew what they was doing. So now, instead of a good portal there, they have now a bad portal there that they drain energy from to create stuff for them to make us be more down, to keep their foot on our neck, okay? So this is the reason why we have to destroy these systems, which means we have to destroy some of the buildings that we even created, because now they have bad portals in them, which is bad energy. It means that it goes against us, so they must fall.
That's not suspicious. That's not weird. No, that's a coincidence. That's not suspicious at all.
Inside the gate, inside.
Been taught in the American education system is all a lie. Yes, Native Americans weren't the original people of this land. We actually took it from black people. Everything we've been taught.
So in other words, when they came here, they had to be enslaved. When they were enslaved after they worked 5 or 6 years for us, then we give them a piece of the land. Exactly. Because we make slavery ship a way as to work, a way to, I have nothing, I'll work for you for 8 years, and if you give me this. And again, it was, okay, work for me 8 to 5 years, and I'll give you 1 acre of land so you can grow your own food. Then you won't have to be nobody's slaves. You don't have to work for somebody. It was actually called a job. It was called a job. You get it? So you want to work for me. This is your job. We didn't call it a slave. They called it slave. And what we're going to do is after you work 5 years for me, you get 1 acre of land. Did that sound good? Yep. Okay. Now you got a job. And you got taken care of, you got fed and stuff like that. You wasn't an indentured servant. They took slavery from us, made it indentured servitude, and then stole everything from us, took our buildings after they finally conquered us, and put bad portals in when they're good portals, good energies in first, so they had to get the bad energy in there so they could sit it there and make everything bad for us. They had to make the energies bad to make it a hell.
The American education system is all a lie. Yes, Native Americans weren't the original people of this land. We actually took it from black people.
So it feels like this entire COVID, which we know is just a big lie, this whole thing for the last 2 years, really, is it fair to say, Santos, before you go, that this never would have happened if we would have been just more awake and knew where we were? And this, so their play so far has played out. They were able to pull off this COVID thing because we've been programmed for so long.
Yes, brother. They did a mud flight. They did some plagues. They did it to the Chinese with opium. They did it to the Australians. They did it to the American Indians with smallpox.
Yeah.
They just go into a country, plague the whole place out, and then take over their buildings. New York was already there for thousands of years. San Francisco was there for thousands of years. Los Angeles was there for thousands of years. They were built by the indigenous people who were black and Indians as well. The black people, they were slaves. They are the original owners of America. Black people, African Americans. They don't come from Africa. They were already here. And Indians as well. The black people, they were brought over by...
Now look, we're already here. We owned everything. We owned everything, which means what? That if you was to come here off a boat, you became our slave automatically. We had everything. You couldn't step on a piece of land without agreeing to be our slave. You could not be here. You could not even get off your boat without agreeing to be our slave. If you didn't want to be our slave, you better turn that boat back around and go the way you came. Through treacherous waters, it means you may not make it home, which means that you really had no choice at that point but to be our slave. See, this is what white people know, that they were the slaves. They got from under slavery because we did the slavery right, which was after 5 years or 7, 8 years, we give you an acre of land. And what happened? they turned around, right? When they started to get a little money, a little grip, then they said, you know what? We're going to do the same to them. We're not going to go through all this shit. We're going to go ahead and just fucking fight these motherfuckers. We're going to give them smallpox. We're going to give them any disease we can to take over this shit. We're going to have a white president. Fuck the black house. Because if you didn't know, which you should know, it was a black house, not a white house. So that's like I said, they come in, they invade. After they do their little work, they didn't come with guns and try to shoot us down like the book said. They lied. They were our slaves. After a while, when they start getting some money, they start doing stuff. They got together. Then they came against us with guns and weapons and with a pen. See, they knew all this. They know this still to this day, that the slave always has been all the outside nations, the whites, the Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans, the Italians, the Irish, all those Saxons, because all y'all are Saxons, just different names, were our slaves. And because things have to go back to the very beginning, will be our slaves again, except this time it'll be permanent. This time they will be indentured service. This time they'll never be free. This time we're going to make sure of it, because they fucked up when we tried to deal with them the nice way. We tried to deal with them honestly, and they kicked us in the ass and enslaved us and took everything. And they constantly do stuff they ain't supposed to do. So this time around, when we're back on top, they will all be slaves forever. Period. Now, doesn't say we're going to do something right, because we'll do some of them right. We'll help them out to a certain extent. But we already know, if you are a Spaniard, you started learning from us. And you twisted it. And then you brought the white man over here. And of course, you know, the Blackamoors start messing with the Arabics and stuff. And then y'all fucking poisoned their minds, right? And had the Blackamoors start to come against us. Come on now, call with us, divide and conquer. This is what y'all did. So therefore, yes, y'all got to be slaves whether y'all like it or not. You don't want to be slaves, do yourself a favor. Leave the United States as soon as possible, because everybody's seeing New Barrel. This is getting closer. When things hit the fan, y'all become our slaves. There's no way around it. Y'all are done. Time is up.
By slaves. They are the original owners of America. Black people, African Americans. They don't come from Africa. They were already here, and they played them out. And they stole the Smithsonian Institute, which is Jesuit controlled, stole their knowledge, stole their history, and now we're just wondering who we are, where we come from, where we're going. We don't know anything. Wow. Because they did a catastrophe on this earth only a few hundred years ago. This is very important.
You start seeing a lot of these animals, people go on boats and stuff to get away from the people, because what's going to happen is the animals and the beasts in the ocean are going to start turning on all the outside nations. So if you are Puerto Rican, white, Spaniard, Mexican, Dominican, Cape Verdean, Irish, Italian, white, any nationality besides blackity black, and you mix too, if you mixed, you're done too. There's no half-breeds getting in. They're going to eat y'all up. Y'all all going to die. That's the way it is. It's in your books. It's in all the books. It tells you straight up. Y'all are done. Y'all finished. All this, the Most High wants everybody to come back to him. No, the devil wants everybody to come back to him, dummy. Stop falling for the trick. That's why you lost. It is simple. Yo, if you ain't us, you're done. Plain and simple. If you ain't us, you're done. You violated. You are chemically unbalanced our planet. Things are turning back to the way they're supposed to be now. You're finished. Leave United States. You don't belong here. You want to live? Run. In fact, leave our planet, to be dead honest with you, because the other people going to get y'all too. Run. Y'all should have never came to this district. Y'all came through the wall. Y'all weren't supposed to do that. You're violated. Y'all don't use two different... I ain't going to tell you how... I know how I did it. I ain't going to tell you how you did it. But what y'all did, okay. You know what I'm saying? Y'all shouldn't have did it. And I know how you did it. But what y'all did was wrong. And now y'all got to pay. Y'all were warned that if y'all did this, everything was going to turn on y'all. Every single thing. There's nowhere to run, nowhere for hide for y'all. Y'all did that other thing on people, hoping to take down numbers, but also to get them to turn into shit. But guess what? It still ain't going to work in y'all favor. Y'all are done. Leave the whole planet. Leave the district. Just run. Run and don't stop running. You can't do it no more. You're done.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called aborigines. Our forefathers weren't the pilgrims. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The rock was landed on us. Yes, I just found them at home. I ain't trying to let my mama down. Yes, I just found them at home. I ain't trying to let my mama down. Yes, mama ain't raising no money. 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 My mama ain't raised no hope. Archaeologists, Paleontology, Volume 2. Cretaceous and Tertiary Fossils by W. M. Gadd. This is from 1869. So, this book kind of lists what they just found. It's not like a lot of information. It's going to show you that they actually listed this here. Page 88, it says here Pliocene, right? Pliocene, we already know the time scale, right? We're talking about millions, at least 1.6 million years or older, between that and 5.8 million, so it could be up to 6 million. Calaveras County, they noted it down. Where does it say anything about being a hoax or anything like that? Here. Pliocene with human skull. Alright? Pliocene. Alright, so before we get into the skull today, I've mentioned this before, I've shown it. I know Graham Hancock's mentioned it a lot, and we've shown it in some of my videos. Recently, a couple years back, they found, they proved.
Now, here's the weakness of these Saxon people, because all y'all are Saxons if you ain't black, like y'all like to try to call us, although we don't go by that name. Y'all Saxons, y'all done. Your parents done fucked up. You're finished. Just forget about it. Just being honest with you. Your best chances of service willingly. But anyways, let's get straight to it. These Saxons are dumb enough to record shit. And they put it in certain books that they hide. But they totally forgot that they were told that we would get all our books back. Even stuff that was hidden. And then once y'all put stuff on paper, y'all were also told that the truth would start coming out. Y'all didn't realize it was going to get some of that truth from y'all writings when y'all was admitting stuff like Christopher Colombo was, I call him Columbus, wrong name, he was a half-black Moor, was saying he was envious, he was jealous, because we were living in gardens and gardens of Eden. Even there was so much fish in the water, they were just jumping all up in the boat, to the point where the boat was damn near about to sink. He said the fruit were bigger than watermelons, bigger than our heads. We're sitting there just enjoying ourselves. He came with a saying, although we don't use this name, oh, Hebrew, nothing to do. In other words, me and you were laying around in green grass, enjoying ourselves, getting along with all the animals, eating fruit bigger than watermelons, and not ever doing anything, because we never had nothing to do. We had a forever rest. We're going to have a forever rest again. A rest day is a permanent day that it always stays light, 24 hours, all around the clock. There's never any dark. There's never any snow. There's none of the stuff you're experiencing. No strong winds, no none of that stuff. And it's always nice out. We never had to sleep. We didn't sleep because we are energies. They say the word gods. We didn't use that word because it's pagan. But because we are, because it exists in us. We never slept. We didn't have to sleep. We never went to sleep. We're always up 24/7. The sun was out 24/7. The body didn't have to sleep. You get this now? If our body needed charging, we went to an energy room. That's why we put them there, to charge our batteries up so that we didn't have to go to sleep. We never slept. Come on, man.
Proves, well, they found evidence of humans living in California up to 130,000 years ago, all right? San Diego Natural History Museum. Mastodon discovery in San Diego shakes up our understanding of early humans in the New World, right? It says here, broken bones and rocks yield evidence that pushes back the record of early humans in North America by more than 100,000 years.
Indigenous black people have been in the Americas for thousands of years before slavery and Christopher Columbus. In Columbus's own diary, his son Ferdinand Columbus confirmed that his father did in fact meet black tribes upon reaching the New World. Explorers like Giovanni Verrazzano, when he got to the Carolinas, he met the Cape Fear Indians, who he said resembled the Ethiopians of Africa. Explorers like Hernando de Soto, when he got to Florida in 1512, he started warring with the Florida Indians, who he described as big, black, and had woolly hair. Also, in the book called Primitive Black Nations of America, Constantine Rafinus points out that the black Indians met the Spaniards in Louisiana in 1543. We always...
Now you notice he says big, we're big. So the air, this is something else they also did that they ain't telling you about. They have done something to reduce our air. Drastically, bro. And when those fireballs hit the earth, the devil did that. That's one thing y'all don't realize. The devil does a lot of shit and says and try to say he the Most High because he's not Most High. He pretends to be that. It released a lot of our air, about 90% of our air from off this planet. He just said, because Columbus said, we were big. We were big people. Big. Are you getting it yet? We were big. We stood 7, 8 feet, 9, 10 feet tall. We were muscle bounded to the strongest muscle, chiseled out to the chiselest chisel. We were even looking like the thing they proclaim to call things. We don't use that G word. Energy beings. Our bodies were damn near immortal. Something went wrong, obviously, and they did some things, but they had to get rid of, before they could even defeat us, they were fighting us before they could defeat us. They had to somehow lower the air over here in the United States because everything was big. Everything was big. Caterpillars were 3 times the size that they are now. Everything was big. Everything. The apples was the size of your head. Everything was 3 times bigger than they are now, which means we were 3 times bigger than we are now. With my 5'7", that means I have to do it 3 times. That'll be 15 feet high, tall, and whatever inches on top of that. We were big. Come on, man. Seth was one of the children. We're not going to use the name that they use because that name's bullshit. And also the name Seth is wrong too. But that child and all his children were big men. Big men. Big men. To the point that the Nephilim giants wanted to try to mate with them. Are you seeing this? Now, unfortunately, some of Seth's kids did mate with them. They were told not to. Seth, the dad, never did it. His children did, though. But that's another story. But we were big, big, big men. Big, big, big women. Muscle-bound men, muscle-bound women. They were afraid of us. When they came here, they said, those are not known men. Those men are gods. And they know the worst pagan, that's what they said. But we are light beings. We look like what we were. I hope some of y'all catching this.
He's been here. We are the indigenous people.
With Black civilizations.
Several years ago, and still have it in my possession. Right back to Lee Cooper himself, who is considered one of America's leaders, archaeologists, and anthropologists from East Yale, one of Johnsons and other people in America in particular, that the black men were the first to build any type of civilization in the Americas would be disturbing to Americans.
Ancient.
Don't hate me, hate the money I see, clothes that I buy, ice that I wear, clothes that I try. Close your eyes, picture me rolling, sixes, money folding, bitches, honeys that swollen, the rich, not in ya, most critically acclaimed, Melissa, prize winner, best storyteller, star narrator, my style creator, moderator, big black to a lot of you haters, commentators, ringside crowd, watching my paper, almost a decade, quite impressive, most of the best is in the essence, but it's rap shit that I stand for, expanding more to the big screen, Bill Gates dreams, but it seems you rather see me in jail with state dreams, want me off the city fast, but good things last, like your favorite MC.
Now, I'm not saying it was perfect back then because, we made some mistakes. However, what I'm saying is the one thing you have to see, women, this is why men want you to be submissive. Because we know, this is what the men know, and this is what we're trying to lead y'all to. We're not trying to be assholes. Many of y'all y'all want control and this and that, many boo-boo. No, stop the crap, stop the bullshit. In order for us to get back with ours, y'all have to get back to following our lead, not what y'all want. Because we were on top. The men owned everything. You are queens. You got the benefit from it. You want that castle? You want jewelry unlimited? You want gold and money unlimited? Get behind us and follow our lead. And while we're leading, push us forward. Be pushing us with freaking bulldozers if you got to. Push the shit out of us. Get on our nerves to push us to get what you want. You want gold? You want your castle back? You want your kingdom back? We got to fight the battle. Push us to go get it back. Stop putting us down, dogging us, talking bad about us because you want to be our equal. In the future, in the beginning, you was not our equal. I'm sorry, this is the fact. Y'all just wasn't. Because we had everything. It was a man's world. Did we treat y'all like a queen? Yes. Did y'all get everything y'all wanted? Yes. Did we spoil y'all? We definitely spoiled y'all. Want to be spoiled again? You want that 5-star dinner? You want that freaking big old diamond bigger than your damn wrist, bigger than your damn hand? You want that crown that's heavier than your head? Well, hey, sister, it's simple. Get behind your men. Okay? It's okay to agree with them. That's good. And it's okay to be our life partner, but understand, we are the head. Y'all still supposed to follow our lead. But y'all supposed to also advise us and push us forward without getting in the way. The mistake most of y'all make is y'all get in the way. I ain't saying this to be funny mean to y'all. I'm just trying to get y'all to understand where we're going. It's a man's world and always has been. We made it that way. It's never going to change. It never can change. Everything must go back to the way it was, where the man is on top and everything else follows his lead. The woman is in charge of the household because the man is too busy taking care of other stuff, like his kingdom. That's right, because we was living in castles. Y'all want y'all kingdoms back. Y'all want y'all slaves back. Y'all want y'all gold back. Y'all want y'all diamonds back. Y'all want y'all crowns bigger than your damn heads back. Y'all want everything back. Want your silks and minks back. You want everything back. You must get behind your men.
Still making some mean cash. First rap of the break, platinum, black back to the project. But you still wanna hate? See my cats, I suggest.
Brilliant.
See us dreadlocks? We all got dreadlocks.
Originals.
All had locks.
The builders of this land they call America, which is Atlantis, which they refuse to admit. They will never tell us this is Atlantis.
Everybody had dreadlocks.
Over 500 years before the rise of the Aztec, the Toltec redefined leadership in central Mexico. enforcing power, not through military might, but through the moral force of their teachings. They coordinated trade between states and arbitrated disputes, all within the framework of their religion. Their capital functioned like Wall Street, the Vatican, and the Supreme Court combined.
Now, that's where we messed up. When we started getting involved with religion, is how we totally messed it up. That's when we messed up. Okay? We were never supposed to get involved with religion. Our people did. Just being honest. And you see what happened. That's one thing they won't tell you.
After less than 2 centuries, Tolan, like Teotihuacan before it, was violently destroyed. But while the city burned, the sophisticated Toltec leadership escaped, many of the elite families moving to the Valley of Mexico. For 150 years, in the shadows of the ruins of Teotihuacan, the Toltec established control over the...
So if you don't know, I'm going to let you know right now. The people he's talking about that escaped, the ones that were wise, there's a city in Mexico where it's nothing but all so-called black people. And the Mexicans, the Spaniards that live in Mexico, because that's what they are, was like, yeah, we're not gonna fight y'all. We know what's wrong. Just come in. Y'all can have all this land. And we built it a city in New Mexico. It still stands today. You can still go visit it today. And if you get to that particular city in Mexico, I forgot the name. You can look it up. You will find nobody there except for the people that look like you. You'll realize that, damn, you motherfuckers left the United States and came to Mexico a long time ago. But here's one thing: you might end up seeing a lot of the stuff we used to do. Hopefully, only the good stuff. Hopefully, none of the bad stuff, because the bad stuff is why we failed.
City-states of the valley. Their influence was so great that their bloodlines became the benchmark of nobility throughout the region.
Everything we've been taught in the American education system is all a lie. Yes, Native Americans weren't the original people of this land. We actually took it from black people. Everything we've been taught in the American education system is all a lie. Yes, Native Americans weren't the original people of this land. We actually took it from black people. We plague the whole place out and then take over their buildings. New York was already there for thousands of years. San Francisco was there for thousands of years. Los Angeles was there for thousands of years. They were built by the indigenous people who were black and Indians as well. The black people, they were brought over by slaves. They are the original owners of America. Black people, African Americans. They don't come from Africa. They were already here, and they plagued them out. And they stole, the Smithsonian Institute stole their knowledge, stole their history, and now we're just left wondering who we are, where we come from. They did a catastrophe on this earth only a few hundred years ago.
Ancient people who lived thousands of years ago more advanced than us. The narrative that we're taught in school is that people in ancient days, thousands of years ago, were primitive and they're... Americans are black people, and the American government lied when they said we come from Africa. We are not from Africa. We are from America. And since you want proof, here it is.
Prehistoric skulls were found buried in layers of soil 9,000 to 12,000 years old. They are the oldest skulls in the Americas. And this is the oldest of them all. The skull of a young woman, nicknamed Luthia by scientists. Can she tell us who the first Americans were? The cast was then given to Richard Lee of the University of Manchester in England to recreate her features. That, to me, is a Negroid face that has all the features that you associate with a Negroid face. It doesn't say anything about it being a Mongoloid.
The first an American is the original American Indian, not African. Ancient hieroglyphs of civilizations in America prove black people been here.
Now you see how we have the white dude. They try to see the white dude on the bottom and the black dude. Black dude grabbed him by the hair. Anytime anybody came here or invaded here, they weren't supposed to, they automatically became our slaves. Hence, questions, no questions are asked. We made them become our slaves. And sometimes we cut their head off just for trespassing in front of everybody. That brother was getting ready to cut off that Spaniard's head. That's why he had his ponytail. He was getting ready to cut off his head. He was a prisoner of war. We conquered his people, and now it was off with the head. You had to die. A lot of people also didn't want them as slaves. They'd rather just kill them off and not have to worry about them being around ever, because they knew that these people are the devil's children.
Fighting against invaders. The oldest bones found in America are of black people. Present-day black people still match the hieroglyphs found in ancient America. Ancient traditions and cultures are still carried by the Black Indians of America. Europeans thought it was funny to display the fight of the original people and the invaders. Don't forget, say the historian told you this. The African Americans.
Native Americans. Before we start, I don't give a fuck how you feel. I really don't. You feel me? The truth hurts. Oh, this thing's true. Listen, I'm from the sky. I'm from the sky. We come all the way down here. We come down land. We look in land. We come and see people, black people. We ask them, can we stay here? Can we stay here? They said, okay. So we stayed here. Fucking aliens. Fucking aliens.
And boom, there you have it. Just like I said, I told my wife this too, that we gave these people land after all we did. And they came from the sky.
I told in class last night, they're ours, they belong.
They came from a whole other planet. They invaded. You see this? But they invaded with a plan that they were going to conquer us. Now, if you don't know who that guy was, the last guy is what you call a Navajo, or you would call him a Native American. And one of my rap songs, truth rap songs, I had already pointed out. And also I taught y'all this with proof, man, a long time ago, that when they came here and they teamed up, the white man and all the Spaniards teamed up. You listening now? They teamed up. You listening? With the what? The native Indian. Why? Because they knew the native Indian was also the white man's brother. Boom. So what that mean? They worked together to conquer the land. We ain't gonna let the black folks rule over us. We want to rule over them. That was their mind, right? So the natives said, okay, we'll work with you, white brother and Spaniard brother, and we're gonna conquer these black people. And that's exactly what they did on our own land. After we gave some land, told some how to live. You can talk to the Navajo right now. Go to a Navajo place right now, and they'll tell you that we told them the laws to live and how to live in order to keep the peace and all the lands and be successful. They know these laws to this day. They don't follow them, but they can regurgitate them like nothing.
Belong to us. They're ancient, these buildings. There's a whole city underneath this city. They've been burned, all the major cities, the major energy centers. Our ancestors set up these energy centers that we call Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Atlanta, Detroit, right? Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles. They are energy centers. They're not where they are in huge, large cities just because of some coincidence. There's energy and power in these places. London, Rio de Janeiro.
I'm trying to post this, but I'm going to try to do it in a different way.
Here's my question, y'all. Now that you know all this, when you going to fight for what's yours? When are we going to come together and one land, right? Get on the same page. Don't call no names. Don't call no Most High. Don't say nothing. None of that shit. Stop praying. Stop all that. We don't need to do that. We are. It's already in us. And why don't we combine and get together? Stop eating meat. Do away with meat altogether. Grow on fruits and vegetables so that DNA can get activated, so that we can become super beings again, so that the body can be 15, 20 feet tall, so that the muscles can be muscle bound beyond muscle bound, the chiseled of the chiseled, the man of the man, a real man. When we gonna do that? Are we gonna sit here and keep playing these little stupid games, letting them feed us their poison food, poison meat, poison vegetables, poison fruit, with their bullshit laws, their lies and their Kai's on their eyes, and then Mr. J's and Mr. G's and Mr. all these names? Are we gonna stand up and fight like the so-called, they use gods, we don't use that name, but the light beings that we are? We have to change it, y'all. Nobody's coming to save us. Facts. Wake up. When you gonna fight for what's yours and stop being a big pussy?